second part of my talk and discuss nature-based solutions, provide some examples of where council, contractors and landowners have worked together in smaller streams to build bank protection features that not only add habitat, but also do a good job at bank protection too. This picture shows a faggot or a bunch of wood that is anchored on this tight beam. This cluster of woody material creates an undercut bank, just like a labyrinth, a three-dimensional space, which is superb for providing protection for all different sizes and several different species of fish and invertebrates. This particular one was built in 2001, and it has stood up to several big floods, including the August 2022 event, which was particularly big. The wood selected here is of durable species and is not treated. So it will rot after 10 years, but after this time, the trees will have grown up and step in to do the job of bank protection. That picture of the faggot was on the bend on this right angle bend with an arrow. It's showing here, this red arrow. So this is Burkett Creek in the Manapipi catchment near Takaka. It is close to the coast and flows into an estuary, so it has potential to hold some of the most diverse fish populations. It has been historically straightened, as you can see here and on the bottom left. And in the previous photo, yeah, is where this arrow is located. The photo at the bottom center, there's a root wad, which creates, again, an undercut bank and an ideal place for habitat once again. Photo on the bottom right here is woody material that was trenched into the bank over a pool. Pools are really important for some species such as Inanga smelt and so forth. And hard material like these logs in the water create turbulence at higher flows, and that keeps the pool clean or clears out the fine sediment, so it doesn't build up over time. So it maintains that pool habitat for those fish, which is essential. This next photo is in the Mutri catchment after the floods, where wood has been laid down naturally and doing a really good job at bank protection. We don't actually need to do anything around this particular beam, creating good overhanging habitat, lots of different size classes of wood in here. You might think I'm going on a lot about wood. Well, there is a huge amount of evidence showing its importance in streams. I also went to a conference on this, an international conference, and this the emphasis on wood was amazing. And it's just as applicable in New Zealand as it is around the world. To me, as an ecologist, woody material deposited in streams after the flood is like a gift, and we should not be throwing this woody material. It's like gold. We need to stockpile it and use it in bank protection works. This is another example in the Motri catchment where a lot of erosion has happened, and this landowner asked us for help. Initially, they wanted to take all the wood out of this section of river and straighten the channel and fix the erosion. Yes, we needed to take out some of the wood, as there were some big logs extending right across the channel that may have caused the dam in catching further debris in a future flood. So we helped remove them, remove the big logs, but suggested to strategically leave some others and then install some wood in a series of groins around the bend. Okay, shown in the next photo. A huge log here highlighted, it was diverting the high flow water straight into this area of erosion. And if that was only removed, it not only would stop that division and reduce that erosion, it would relieve the pressure by enabling the flood waters to go straight through here, creating a secondary flow path. However, this log was far too big for us to cut and move, so a bigger will be needed here. This root wad was creating some really good habitat, as we'll see in another photo, and was right in line with these willows that's been behind. So removing that wouldn't necessarily relieve much of the pressure at high flow. This is another photo looking upstream. The previous photo was taken from here, and it shows this beautiful meander pattern, flex channels and wood in here. So lots of undercuts in under these woody material and deep pools. This is just real paradise for our fish population. So in order to protect this bend and avoid the channel going around behind these willows, we suggested putting a whole lot of the waste wood, logs into little groins like this, trenching them in to create a deflection at high flows. These can be just half a metre above the low flow channel, so they activate at higher flows. Trees are also needed to secure this bank also. Sadly, this old growth stand of podocarp took a hammering in the recent floods. Utilising the wood, though, from the down trees will be perfect for protecting the stream bank against future floods. Unfortunately, there are also a lot of examples of river works recently that have created a lot of uniform habitat that is not so good for fish life. Uniform cross sections, uniform bank shape, similar depth, no pools, and we can go on about the habitat features that I showed in my earlier part of the talk. These rock walls are very straight and uniform water depth right across the channel. Channel width is uniform, bank shape is uniform, straight channel, uniform gravel size right through. So this is definitely a long way from ideal from a fish habitat point of view. Again, this is in the Mutu River. Also, now we're showing some more river works, this time in the Motueka River. So the works that's been undertaken recently since the floods has been on a scale that I've not witnessed firsthand before here. The braided and semi-braided river system has had a much straighter channel dug through the middle, and a big bulldozer used to push the gravel to the edge of the river corridor. Again, more examples of bulldozing this gravel. You can imagine the fish in this part of the river would have also taken a hammering with that bulldozing. And yes, floods do cause some of our fish to come to grief, but a large proportion survive and go on to reproduce and further the fish population. So I think it's uniform habitat and this turning over of the gravel site, this would have been a far greater adverse effect than the flood. More of these straight channels right through the middle. Here are some other small streams. This one on the top left showing a river works right through a spawning area. So hopefully we can help by reshaping this channel nature for inanga, which like to spawn in the long grasses along benches on the edge of the river system. So this one here at Kaiteri, it's now straighter than it was. The wood's removed, very uniform depth, width, and so forth. So yeah, if only we could work together in these circumstances to improve fish communities and fish habitat. So in this example, it's taken prior to the floods, but again, a very straight section river, very even bank shape, and uh, this has a lot of potential, this Brooklyn stream, for improved fish life in parts of the stream which do have good habitat, good meander, good riparian tree cover, etc., etc. It has a very, very diverse fish population, particularly in these lower reaches. This again was some years ago. Wetlands dug through in the upper Motori catchment, and it destroys that sponge effect. And our wetlands are really important at relieving these high flows. So, just in case you haven't seen the stats before, we've lost a huge amount of our wetlands, particularly in the Motueka Ecological District, which forms the Waimea Plains right up past Wakefield and inland around the Motueka Rewaka Plains. The Motori Ecological District, which runs from the Kina Cliffs all the way through to near Sedano, has about 5 to 7% left of wetland extent. So, in conclusion, we have an amazing set of stream ecosystems in the Motueka and across Tasman, some of the best in Aotearoa in terms of numbers and species and abundance. I think you will agree that through some of these examples that together we can build back better from the floods. And often this doesn't take much extra cost. So hopefully we can take our ecosystem cake and eat it too. We could just sit tight and keep on doing what we've done, or shall we be like the common smelt, which starts and pivots in the situation, pivot towards a future where both humans and aquatic species can live in harmony together. Thank you.